What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is TishaTheBrave. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing okay. Before we get into the video, I'm gonna need you to hit that like button already. You know why? Because this is my second time filming this video because I accidentally deleted the footage. You need to hit that like button just for me doing this all over again. This is exhausting to film, but I want to give you the message. Spirit wants to give you the message, so therefore I am here right now. So thank you guys for being here. Just really quickly, I do have a Patreon account. If you guys are interested in hearing like the moon cycles weekly and the numerology forecast for that week also, I have a Patreon where you can check that out, and only that information will be there, okay, for my supporters who are on there. All right, so of course, as you guys know, Aries governs like anger and energy. We already saw what happened at the Oscars during Aries season. What need I say anymore? Okay, so we could potentially also have that kind of energy going on right now too, you know, especially with the new moon in Aries, because it is a time where people are more blunt and more direct. So because of these situations, how everybody can get riled up around this time no matter what your zodiac sign is, okay? Now is the time to speak up on the thing that is either bothering you or forever hold your peace and move the fuck on. People have held these grudges and now they're kind of using this energy to kind of like boil up. And then they get up in this straight up defensive or attack mode because they haven't forgiven the person or because they haven't moved on from the actual situation itself. So I think what we all need to be doing is thinking about whether we want to forever hold our peace and move on or address the situation. Remember, people on the flip side are also experiencing this new moon and they may also be in defensive mode. So just remind yourself that not everything will be all roses. So it all comes from the way you approach this verbally. So if you're coming from a position where you're going to be shouting at other people, that is not going to serve you. That's just going to keep you exhausted at the end of the day. So if you're going to come in a position where you're going to be shouting at the other person because you've been holding this in for so long, you don't want it to get to the point where you can become violent, or you don't want it to come to the point where you're shouting and it's exhausting for you. Instead, what you need to do is probably meditate and then come to a decision on what you want to say and then talk about it in a very calm manner, because energy is transferable. If you start shouting, another person's going to start shouting back at you. So you have to be mindful of how you're approaching this situation if you are going to talk about this situation. And on the flip side, if you are choosing to forever hold your peace on this situation and not talk about it anymore, or not bring it up anymore, or let go of it, really let it go. Do not roll your eyes at a situation. Do not do this or do that. You have to actually fully take on board that you no longer have hate in your heart for this person, or this person doesn't bother you, the situation doesn't bother you anymore, and never bring it up again. So either speak up or choose to forever hold your peace. All right? Oh my god. All right, so let's move on to the actual zodiac signs. Please look out for your sun sign and your rising sign. Aries, you guys are obviously in house 1. What this is telling me right now is that house 1 is obviously about the body, about the identity, and someone may have violated your body or made fun of how you identify or how you present yourself. It's time on this new moon to kind of think about how you're best representing your truest sense of you. So for those of you who have gone through, let's say, abuse, where someone has violated your body, maybe this is the time for you to kind of have the adult conversation with the person that you need to talk to. Maybe it's not even the abuser, maybe it's somebody in your family that you trust that you need to kind of like shed this emotion. I know, because I've had first-hand experience in this situation where sometimes you just need to let it out to another person. You just need to talk about it. It may not be on a sexual nature. It could be just someone violating your space that included being near your body or something like that. But somebody has violated, but somebody could have violated your physical body just because it is house 1. Also, in general, it could be a situation where somebody has made fun of your identity, how you identify. Somebody could be upset about the way you express yourself on a visual level, especially those who have grown up in specific cultural backgrounds where image is very important to them. This could be a time to speak about those violations or address something with somebody that somebody may not want to hear. But it's up to you whether you have that conversation or you work on actually expressing yourself wholly and truly 100%. Because also this could be a placement of thinking, I don't represent myself in the best way. I don't represent myself in a way that I do want to represent myself. So it's time that you guys get in tune with your sacral chakra, because I feel like you need to get into the spirit of being 100% true to yourself, and that means you want to represent yourself in a certain way, then that will be cool. But working on your sacral chakra actually helps. So start creating things, start putting your energy into creativity, because that is expressing the truest part of yourself in its rawest form, okay? Taurus suns and Taurus risings, you guys are in house 12. Something may need to end, or you may need to have some closure. It could be that you're stepping away from religion or an old friend. Either way, you're probably being peeled away from something, just generally. You know, something has to end there. And either a massive conversation needs to happen, or if it's like a friend that you're kind of getting rid of, a quick block might be the answer. But it really just does depend on the situation and who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with, because sometimes the person that you may want to block may need to have the conversation, and maybe you're the one to give it to them, you know, because sometimes we just think, maybe it's not us who needs to have the conversation, but someone somewhere down the line's got to tell them off. Maybe it's your turn to say something, because a lot of the times Tauruses have a blocked throat chakra. I know, I'm a Taurus moon. You may need to speak up about that, because oftentimes you don't want to speak about shit that's happening to you. So you may need to talk to the person, you know. Just that you heavily meditate as well, because let's say you are stepping away from religion or something like that, you kind of need to get in the zone where you're connecting with the divine, and also like pay attention to the signs around you, Tauruses. Like if you're seeing specific colors, if you're seeing specific numbers, if you're seeing specific animals, do not hesitate to look that up, because the messages are there. I know it's cliche to look up these messages and on the internet and stuff, and your logical brain is like, how does this work? How does this apply to me? I feel like the reason you are seeing what you're seeing is for you to look that up, so that you can receive that specific message, because otherwise you're going to be scrambling trying to figure out what the message is. You're logical, you need it in plain sight, so make it work for you. Okay, Gemini suns and Gemini risings, you guys are in house 11. You may be guided in thinking about the future on a more like global level, okay? So there's probably going to be issues that are bugging you that you may need to pay more attention and aggression to than the average person, because you're noticing the bigger picture right now. You're noticing humanity right now. You're noticing what's happening on a global level. You're paying attention to the news, and you're thinking about it on a global consensus. Like, if for you this is real shit happening, and your heart is like, what can I do to help? So this is the thing, Geminis, I'm not telling you not to help, but at the same time I'm also telling you to mind your communication. You guys are like this all the time, right? Sometimes that is exhausting. So this is interesting, because this is in house 11. House 11 also governs technology. Maybe it's time for you to start saying what you need to say on social media, versus you saying it to, let's say, everybody else, okay? Friends discussion is okay, because, you know, this is house 11. Do not exhaust your energy into people who are not willing to hear you. It's house 11, it's Gemini, it's air. If you do this all day, it could get exhausting, and then trying to get your point across, especially whilst you're being emotional about the rest of the world, is going to get you upset. So work on the throat chakra. Think about what you want to say. Think about how you're going to say it. Instead of just talking out your ass, think about how you're going to say these things. I would say use social media versus your actual exhaustion of throat, because right now it's sensitive, because Aries is in the building in the new moon, and so what ends up happening is we're angry, we're fucking angry, and so you exhausting your actual throat, your actual energy, because this is an active energy, this is a physical energy, so is your sacral, right? Too much physical energy can get you exhausted, just generally. Me making these videos after me being yap, bitch, I'm a South Node in Gemini, I know, I'm a yapper. It is exhausting to do these kind of videos too. So I know firsthand, if you carry on doing this all the time, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna fucking lose it. It's not time for you to lose it right now. It's time for you to actually make calculated speeches. Yes, calculated speeches on how you're going to address something, or how you want everybody else to see your point of view, because your voice right now is mattering. It matters, but try to get people to see your point of view by doing an approach that is not exhausting to you. Hence why I'm saying, like, use posts on social media, that way you're not doing this all the time, okay? Oh my god, that's just also me doing it. All right, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Throat chakra, work on it for more guidance, more support. You know the deal. Cancer risings and Cancer suns, you guys are in house 10 of responsibility, masculinity, fame, and all that good stuff. Whew, responsibilities are coming up for you right now. You may feel like you are doing way too much and no one is noticing your actions. But, like, have the conversation you need to have with the people that you feel are not supporting you in that way. Or, because Cancer's governed the family, I bet it's a family thing. And also I'm saying this because Capricorns also have a big family trait going on. You know, they're the fathers of the zodiac. You guys are the mothers. So I'm assuming right now you're having issues with your family about them not noticing your efforts, them not noticing what you do is really pissing you fucking off. But the problem is that sometimes you're doing too much and people are expecting this just because you do it on an average, regular basis. Cancers, you guys are just naturally mothers. You mother people. And the problem is, people just see that all the time and think, oh yeah, this person will do it. You guys will do it because you're always going to do it. But that's the actual issue that you're having a problem with. You're doing it. No one cares that you're doing it. They expect it of you. So here's the advice. Stop doing what's expected of you and start doing what you think is your actual job, what you're supposed to do. Have the conversation with the person or forever hold your peace on that shit and stop doing it and just shut up and stop doing it. When they realize that you stop doing it, they're going to start noticing about the fact that you're not doing something. Work on solar plexus. For support here. You need the confidence to actually stop doing it, and you need to recognize that you are much more than the chores that you do around the house. You are much more than the responsibilities. You are much more than taking care of your mother or your mother's side. You are much more than taking care of your family generally. You are much more than the babysitter. You need to figure out what your role is and you need to get it in place and you need to start organizing that, okay? Leo suns and Leo risings. Hey boos, that's me too. House 9 of higher education, philosophy and culture and travel is what we're dealing with right now. So this is maybe the time to showcase a skill or some knowledge, particularly in your workplace or with friends and family. Although sparks may be flying around the Aries moon right now and everybody is kind of like being more blunt, being more aggressive, being more warlike, people are likely to be in the spirit of debate right now, and this is also the time where people will be listening more because they have to hear your point in order to debate you back, okay? But something out there is saying that we have something to say to the people around us, okay? All the things that we have acquired in our quiet time, because Leos, there's a big misconception that you guys are just out there all the time. You guys are not out there all the time. You guys are pretty much, you guys are actually homebodies who like to study and like to look at different educated things. You guys are not the party people think you are. You're more of a homebody than people think you are. You're quite the introverted fire sign, and that's because you're a lion. You kind of like to stay within your cubs and, like, you know, you kind of like to stay with your family and your little cubs and stuff. But then when you do want to go out, you know, the mane is out, everything is cool and glorious. It's like you guys have like ambivert energy. I wouldn't say introvert, but ambivert energy. So there's a part of you that has been studying this whole time and you're acquiring all of this knowledge and you're kind of like bursting to say it. And this is Aries energy. You're allowed to say it. You're allowed to talk about it. And, you know, House 9 is about philosophy and higher education. So meld the two together. This is a time to kind of like say something, all right? So the conversation you may need to have is just literally just spewing out your knowledge to everybody else. Something needs to be said. Something needs to be taught right now. You guys are the educators. You're going to have to teach someone something, okay? Teach someone something. This is a good time for you to work on the throat chakra, because what ends up happening is you may put your point across and it may come off a bad way, and you don't want to do that no more, okay? We want to get to a point where we can educate people, but not shout at them and not tell them that your point is right and my point is right or whatever. Like, no. It's Aries energy too with the Leo pair with the Leo. Disaster if you do not handle it well. Meditate and use your throat chakra accordingly. Meditate with some blue crystals or something. Virgos, you guys are in house 8 of sex, birth, shared finances, and intimacy. So this may be a very intense moment for you guys. There may be some very serious things you want to get sorted out right now, which is great. Like, you have to. But allow your energy to settle before you make moves. Because the thing is, you want to like put shit in place. You want to calculate what's going on. And the thing is, guys, like, what I need you to do is to like take the stress of your energy and like use it in the most powerful way, which is actually to exercise your body. I want you to physically exhaust yourself so you can gain the endorphins to slow down your day. When you exercise, you have a lot of energy, but also you're more aware of time and timing, and your day feels good, and you just feel like yeah, I can get the day going now. That's the energy you need to have, versus like the opposite end of anxiousness, of stress, of like, oh, I need to get shit done. If you exercise, if you actually physically exercise on this day or around this time, you would feel the rush of the endorphins. So that's my advice to you guys. Like, take the time to actually not stress about the intensities of life, about your loans, about this, about that, because it's shared finances, house 8, right? About your children, because that governs birth. What I need you to do is exercise, get the endorphins, and then think of how you can then organize. And then you could probably have the proper conversations because you feel better about yourself, or maybe you then realize that this situation no longer matters anymore, and we're gonna put that away and just not deal with it. But once you exercise, that will all kind of clear out and come to light. So that's my tea for you guys. Libra suns and Libra risings, you guys are in house 7 of relationships and everything shared. Basically, you guys are in your actual house. So like, there may be things in your relationships that are causing you stress, and it could be because of you. Probably having these self-realizations, especially in Aries season, because it's the opposing of you guys, that you are being a bitch, that you are the one that are causing stress to the other part of the relationship. Now, this may not be true for everyone, but that's what Spirit was telling me when I was writing this down. Either way, something huge is being realized here, just generally, and it may not be the prettiest, but you may need to have the dreaded conversation about how you're behaving or how your partner is behaving. Because it's Aries season, I'm also getting unsatisfied sexual issues here. So it could be a platonic sexual relationship, that's what I'm hearing, or maybe your sexual desires are not the same as the other person's, because Aries governs Mars, and Mars is about sexual energy. It's just about energy. Sexual energy is part of it. You may not have the same kinks, and your kinks are not aligning. That is something that I'm hearing right now. It's up to you guys to do the work. You need to meditate before you come into this space, before you have the conversation, and work on the throat chakra and the sacral chakra. Those are both physical energy chakras, and it is the physical sign of Aries. You know, Aries is very physical, so I feel like you guys need to do this. The other thing is, this other person may have bad habits or something that will be bad to you, but it's not necessarily bad habits. It's just something that you don't enjoy. You may need to work on settling. You may need to work on settling on something, because remember, the Libra scales, although some of them are depicted like equal, they're not. They're actually like this. And so it's your sense of justice versus actual justice all the time. But you do compromise on what you do and not who you are, right? You have to compromise sometimes on what you guys do, even if you don't like it. And so sometimes you need to hold your peace on something and walk away from it. Like, you may not want to do the dishes all the time, but that's the thing you agreed on, or that's the thing that makes the most sense in the house, or whatever it is. You need to hold your peace on that, no matter how much it pisses you off. So there's that also. Scorpios, you guys are in house 6 of health, pets and habits and service. But like, the thing about you guys is that everything is so intense for you just generally. There could be like lack of organization. There's chaos going around because there's a lot of energy that you're feeling right now. It's like riled up, especially at this moment in the new moon in Aries. And it's just a matter of trying to get things organized intuitively, though. Like, there are things you know that are not supposed to be in your house that you said you were going to get rid of, but you didn't get rid of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Scorpios are quite the intuitive people, but also they have a tendency to hold on to a lot of things, because guess what? They're possessive. So you need to let go of some shit and organize your home accordingly, like a Virgo would, like in house 6. You know, that's house 6 ruler. They need to have the conversation with a person at your workplace or a person at home about some of the things that you're doing. Maybe you're doing too much, that's why you have a lack of organization. Or maybe, you know, you need to get rid of something and you need to ask a person's permission first. Or maybe you need to hold your peace on something. Like, for example, if you're doing too much but no one's told you to do that much, maybe your problem is that you just keep doing it, and they just expect it of you now. So maybe you just need to show them with your energy, especially because it's Aries new moon. Maybe it's time you show them with your energy that you're not going to do this anymore. And if it's not part of your job, if it's not part of your description, then they can't get to you for that. So just work on the third eye chakra for intuitive understanding of where to place your energy and how to organize your home or your workplace, okay? Sagittarius, you guys are in the 5th house of creativity, education, and romance. This is a lot of fire sign energy. This is a good time to put your energy back into you. Put the romance back into you. You're too party. You're too, I want to see everybody. I want to hang out with everyone, immerse in their culture. You have a lack of identity, my friend. You need to work on the sacral chakra. And what that means is that you need to start playing and like creating stuff out of you and just having a good time creating, getting in tune with yourself, and you're bringing the romance to you. What do you fully like to do without any outside influence? Because Sagittarius are quite the person that gets influenced. They're a mutable sign. They take from this culture, that culture, from this person, that person, and they meld it into themselves. That's not actually you though. So work on the sacral chakra. Aries energy is about literally your physical body. Maybe you dress up in something that you adore and not anybody else, something that you particularly like, maybe your favorite color, maybe it's actually something comfortable, who fucking knows? But what I want you to do is actually create from your soul, from your sacral. Like, get into that romantic time with yourself, okay? Get into that energy. You may need to have the conversation with your people and tell them, I'm sorry, I cannot party today on the Aries new moon. You may need to tell people that, you know, this is not for you. This energy is not for me. I need to get away from you because I'm realizing I'm taking away from myself. Or you may need to forever hold your peace and just move away from that person, from that energy, from that country. I'm saying country because a lot of you guys are traveling or live abroad because you guys are Sagittarius. So there's that, okay? So I'm just telling you, work on your sacral chakra. It is your weakest chakra. Unless you've worked on it, which congratulations if you have. Continue to work on it, sweetie. Coming down to the wire, Capricorn, you guys are in house 4, family, home, and femininity. Look around your house, bro, and ask yourself, are you managing it properly? Because the energy in the atmosphere is going to be quite the aggressive one. So here's the thing. If the energy is going to be aggressive because it's Aries, you know, why would you then come home to a filthy home? It might not be filthy. Let me just... It may not be filthy, but why would you come home to something that is not relaxing? You need to put your energy back into your home. You need to get things organized. You need to take things out. You need to stop holding on to shit, especially shit that people have given you because it makes you feel good. Let me tell you something about a Capricorn. A Capricorn will hold on to whatever gift a person gave them because it made them feel good. Because Capricorns govern the house of fame, yeah, it's almost like, oh, this person thought about me. I am so, like, in their mind. And it's like, bro, this person no longer serves you. Why do you have that gift? And it could be a sentimentality thing. Don't get it twisted. But also at the same time, some of you people just need to let things fucking go. So the conversation you may need to have... conversation you may need to have is about rearranging your space, rearranging your furniture, especially living with somebody, or throwing things out because of it. Or have the conversation with a dreaded family member from your mother's side specifically, or your mother specifically. House 4 issues. There's also Aries energy, so you might be in the spirit of debate, in the spirit of like, you've been pissing me off, so I'm going to tell you about myself and why you shouldn't be doing it to me. So you could be in the spirit of that. Just generally, that could be a conversation, especially with your family. Otherwise, forever hold your peace on the fact that they've been pissing you off, and don't let them get to you anymore by working and meditating on yourself. Because I know Capricorns, you guys govern masculinity, but you also need to evoke that femininity too. This is the great time for you to do it. Get in touch with your sacral chakra, get in touch with your root chakra, find that sense of foundation in your home, and then work on your sense of you and your femininity and start getting in tune with that. But ultimately, you need some organization, particularly in your home. It's stressing you that you don't have enough of it, and I know it is. All right, Aquarius, you guys are in house 3 of communication, siblings, and social activity. You may have something to say to your siblings or your friends that have scarred you in some way, and this conversation might be awkward because you guys are Aquarius. You will have Aries on your side, just generally, to have the conversation, because it will help you become more blunt and direct. And you know, you may need to just like actually think about your friendship groups and what they mean to you, because some of you are holding on to friends that you don't like purely because you've known them for a very long time. It's up to you to actually let go of them now. It's up to you to kind of like cut the cord and be blunt about it. Today's the day to do it, honey. Well, not today, but the new moon is the day to do it, okay? Or forever hold your fucking peace. Sometimes a quick block, leave them alone. Either you talk or you forever hold your peace, but you know on the inside what to do. Don't lie to yourself, okay? Don't lie to yourself. Time for you to work on the throat chakra so you understand how you're going to approach this manner. Pisces sun, Pisces rising. That's me, honey. House 2 of money, income, and routine, and material possessions. So, Aisha, Aries wants you to freak out. Aries wants you to freak out with all this energy going on, with all this pat, 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 okay? But Taurus, house 2, is telling you no. Chill out, dot your I's and cross your T's. You need to look through your business plans. You need to look through your financial issues. You need to look at your bank accounts. You need to look at what is happening with your money, but you need to make plans. Maybe it's time for you to actually have a conversation with a partner that you share a joint bank account with. Or maybe you're spending too much and you need to stop spending on that and hold your peace on that, okay? Maybe you just need to forever hold your peace on purchasing things that you don't need, you know what I'm saying? But look at the way you're spending and analyze the way you're spending. Dot all your I's, cross all your T's. Keep going through those things and make sure you are organized so you don't have any issues with your money. Now remember, Pisces, if you feel like you're in a position of lack, your mind is so fucking powerful because you're a daydreamer. So it's like whatever you dream can come to fruition. So keep dreaming big, because the things that you want are highly obtainable, and do not feel like they're not obtainable. You have it in the bag. So use this energy to actually think about how you're going to manage your money to obtain your dreams, okay? Alright guys, that was me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.